going to be talking about and using protractors here at the beginning, okay? So everyone should have their own protractor, all right? And we're going to kind of learn how to use it if you don't know how to use it already. And we're going to be using that to determine the lengths of the sides of the triangle as well as the angles, okay? I can't really show this on the screen, all right? But please listen up carefully, okay, because you're going to be kind of doing a lot of these on your own. So if you look at number 1, okay, it's saying determine the length of the shortest side and the measure of the smallest angle. All right, we're just going to focus on measuring each side, and we're going to find the length of each of the sides to determine the smallest side, and then just determine the smallest angle from that. Okay, it wants you to measure in centimeters. Okay. How are we going to measure in centimeters on this protractor? Where is the centimeters? Yeah, if you notice, it's like on the inside. Okay, so do not use the outside because those are inches. So you're not going to get the same answer as everyone else if you use the outside. Okay, so you need to be using that inside of the protractor. All right, starting at 0 on that far left. All right, measuring the sides. So go ahead, we'll just start with sides right now. And let's figure out sides AC, AB, and BC. Okay, just for number 1. Let me write you a note real quick. I don't think so either, but just in case she didn't get my text. Yep. All right, so we're just determining those sides, all right? And I know we kind of used protractors like a month ago. Maybe it was a little bit more than a month ago. All right, and make sure you're doing them in centimeters. All right. Round to the nearest tenth. That's what it says. Whose phone is playing music? Sorry? What about that? 5.5? Hmm? Yeah. To the nearest tenth? Yeah. Okay. All right, who can tell me what they got for side AB? Yeah. Just point a number. That's the nearest tenth. It's like, that's what like those little tick marks are. That would be to the nearest tenth. Huh? You should only round to the nearest tenth. Oh, I thought you said 3.77. All right, AB, do we get 3.7? Oh my gosh, am I going to have to look at this answer? Where's my protractor? Yeah. We're talking about AB. You should get 3.6. You should get 3.6. All right. Tell me what you got for AC. I got 5.4. I got 5.4. All right, and then BC. Yeah, I got 4.7. We're just messing. You can't just eyeball it. What does that even mean? No, you can't just eyeball it. Well, how do you figure out the smallest thing? You have to say the value. All right. Anyways, all right. We're gonna look at angles now. Okay. All right. Please listen. Please listen. Okay. I want you to start with angle A. Okay. So for angle A, where did I put my protractor? Here we go. Angle A. Okay. You want to use this protractor. All right. And you want to pay attention. Okay. You want to use like the dot in that protractor. Okay, that circle. The one in the middle, yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, so that little circle, okay, that's like above or that's below 5 centimeters. That's where you want to put that vertex. Okay, so you want to have point A exactly in that vertex, okay? And when you do this, okay, you kind of want to put like, see how there's that line that's like right above the inches that's like attached to that circle. Do you see how it's a line and that circle's right in the middle of it? Okay, you want to put, okay, either side, I would put side AB exactly on that line, okay? And then if you look at it, okay, where AC goes, it kind of tells you what that angle is going to be. Okay, so what do we get for that angle? I would say you get 60 for angle A.
I don't know what's going on.
It doesn't always round up. Oops, no, you're good. So do you see what I was saying?
Like that.
Uh-huh. And then see, you just follow this line.
Would that be for that angle?
No, it's for this angle.
Oh. Okay.
But just make sure, see, the point has to be exactly in the middle and that line has to be. So you just follow it. Because see how like this is going like to 0 and then it goes out here like that. All right, go ahead. Find the other angles for me. All right. All right, if you get 59, if you get 60, it's fine. It'll be easier on the delta math. Whatever you want. No. All right, so let's say I got 60, okay? And let's say for angle B, I got 41. Do I need to measure angle C? Why no? Yeah. If you already know what angle A and angle B are, do we really need to measure angle C? No, because we can solve it. How can we just solve that? How do you know that? How do we solve it?
So I got 85. I'm so good.
Wait, yeah, angle B is not 41.
85.
But anyways, it doesn't matter, okay? If you get 60, if you get 85 here, you add those, subtract it to 180, and that's how you can find C.
Smart guy.
Okay? I want you to go ahead, just do 2, 3, and 4, and just compare with your neighbors, but practice with that protractor. Well, this wouldn't be possible because those don't add up to 180.
How did I line it up?
You need to flip your paper. Because this is the angles are up here. You have to point it.
Yeah. Like I think I done like.
It's got to be. The triangle has to be in here. So if you got 40 there, yeah, so you get 40 because 40 is right here. So this is 40. Then this one's probably not 85. It's probably just 80. I just wrote 85. Just all right. I don't think it's 85. I think it really is 80. Why are you telling me it was 85? I'll remember that.
Okay.
Do your math. I said do 2, 3, and 4 on your own. Compare with your neighbor. All right, do 2 and 4 now. Okay. Okay. Wait, you didn't even do the sides. It's fine. You did one of them. That's okay.
Wait, but doesn't it get okay, I see it now.
Is it okay if it's just like a couple off?
So these are actually on Delta Math, but it's like you can actually expand them, and it's easier to see. These are really small, so
Yeah, I feel like it's in between.
yeah. I just want to make sure you guys are able to actually read the
I'm confused.
protractors.
Do you go like diagonal, like you try to continue, or do you just go straight? Like, will I keep going the direction the triangle is going, or do I just go straight?
Just which angle are you finding?
I think I'm finding.
Then you want to go straight out because then it would be whatever angle is right here. So you can just say it's yeah. Don't just wing it.
This is same stuff. Like when I add up all the angles that we get, they don't equal 180. Like this equals 186.
Then say this one is 78.
So we're kind of just guessing them.
Well, wait, which one are we talking about?
This angle, like this triangle.
Then I think you did something wrong. Sorry. I mean that in the nicest way. Wait, this one you got 47? Okay. This one is probably more like 57. And then this one, I mean, I would just measure 2 of them and then just solve for the third one. Because, like, right, it's like hard. These are going to be in Delta Math, but you can actually expand your protractor and actually get it to that exact point.
I don't understand
The angles.
the angles, yeah.
Okay, so let's look. If we're doing angle C, okay, we want to put that directly in this circle. See that point? And then this line, we want directly on this black line. So I'm going to put that black line perfectly on that side. Okay. So like the angle is like this is at 0. Okay. And then we got to follow this line. All right. Well, it's
105.
so this is 105. Okay. But is this, if it's 105, it would be this angle right here. So we need to go up here. And what angle should it be?
75.
75. Yeah. So you would say 75 there. And then I would just solve for your last angle instead of measuring it. Well, just check with your partner. Okay, then you're good. Everyone will. You can ask Julian. Yeah, do 4. Do you know how to do the sides?
Like
The sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The inside right there.
Mhm.
Yeah. No.
So the angles. So like, say I want to do angle H. Okay. I want to put that directly in this little circle here, and then see this black line. Okay, I want that to be touching the same line as IH. Okay. So then right here, okay, it's like our angle. Oops. Our angle is this right here. So we need to follow this line in G. Where does that go to?
60.
60. So you can say 60. Yeah, so go ahead and try I for me. The triangle has to be inside of this. Mm-hmm. Yep, so if you need to flip your paper, yeah, like that. Remember this has to be inside. Yep, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, you can say it's 70. So then how can you solve for this last angle?
Does it matter which one?
Well, you don't have to measure it. How can we just find it? But you're not done. There you go. Perfect. Did I tell you you can flip to the next page? Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah. Are they close?
They look the same.
Oh, if you got two angles that are the same, that's fine. That's probably not the case, but it's okay. Well, don't just say they look the same. That's why I would just find two of the angles and then just solve for the third one, so you don't run into that problem.
I don't know. I got like 181, so I just like subtract.
Yeah, or like just find two of the angles and solve for that third one.
Why isn't it actually the same?
Because like you're using this, but it's not going to be. How do I explain this? It's almost like you're not doing anything wrong, but it's almost like user error because this is so small. It's hard to exactly see what point it's on. So that's why I'm just saying, just go ahead and solve for the third one. This is just practice with a protractor.
It's not going to be perfect because like what's the delta?
Delta math will be easier. You'll be able to see because you can expand the protractor. You can make it bigger.
I don't know. I feel like it's hard to trace exactly. So I feel like on delta math.
Delta math will be easy. Just trust me on that. It'll be a lot easier. All right, let's talk about some of these answers, okay? If you're still working on it, that's okay. All right, number one, who can tell me what did we get for our shortest side? Yeah. And what was our smallest angle? Angle C. And what was it? 51, 59. Well, I'm just going to say it was 50. I'm going to say it's 50. I'm sorry, 40. It's okay. Just, does everyone kind of understand how to use a protractor? I'll come to you in a second. All right. I'll help you guys in a little bit. We got to move on. It's not your fault. Go ahead, flip to the second page. Okay, this will help make things a little easier in order to solve for those other problems, okay? If you look at this one, okay, it says in triangle FGH, okay, just leave that alone. Angle F equals 43 degrees and angle G equals 87 degrees. Which list has the sides of FGH in order from shortest to longest? Okay, if we look at this, it doesn't tell us anything about sides, okay? But let's go ahead, let's draw a triangle and mark our angles. So I have FGH All right, so go ahead and mark that, okay? Where we have our angle 43, we have our angle 87. All right? And then how can we solve for angle H? Yeah, we add the angles together and subtract it from 180. So do 43 plus 87 plus x equals 180. What do we get? All right, we only have angles, okay, but we got to find the sides from shortest to longest, okay? You got to pay attention to where your angle's at, because this is angle side relations, okay? Now, hey, listen, all right? When I say, who can tell, so what's our largest angle? It's angle G, okay, and it's at 87. Now, in order to find that largest side, we go directly opposite from that angle. Okay? So that's going to tell us FG, or sorry, not FG, FH is going to be our largest side. Okay? Because it's directly diagonal from that largest angle. So then, if I just said that with 87, how can I figure out what my smallest side is? It's going to be across from the smallest angle. So, what side is that going to be? GH. Okay? So, which of these options is going to be my answer if I'm going shortest to longest? Okay? This is an S. GH is my shortest. FH is my longest. This is the middle. Almost said the medium. Okay? Do we see what we did here? All right? You got to remember this because you're going to have to remember this when we do more in chapter 5 as well. Yeah. You just go directly opposite. Okay? All right, and listen, please. Okay? We're going to be using this with our isosceles triangles coming up too. Let's go ahead and look at number 8 real quick because this is dealing with sides. So let's go ahead and draw our triangle. All right, and it says triangle CDE. Go ahead and mark your sides. Okay, so draw that angle. All right, who can tell me, okay, what's our largest side? CE. So we go directly opposite, diagonal. All right, so what do you think our largest angle is? D will be our largest angle. All right, and then what would my shortest angle be? C, yeah. C will be the shortest. Okay, so which of my options should it be when it says which is true? No. Or F, I'm sorry, yes, it's F. I thought you said E. Okay, because D is larger than E and E is larger than C. I don't know. I was looking at E. I messed up. All right, go ahead, do 6 and 7, and we'll talk about those. Get your calculator. Sure. All right, here, go to your... We'll look at this real quick. So are you struggling on the angles?
Yeah, I don't know how to use.
Okay, so we'll do angle C first. So with angle C, okay, we need to put this little circle. See that little dot?
Yeah.
We need to put C directly in that spot. And then see this black line? That needs to be touching one of the sides. So if I put this on C, and that, see how side A, CA is on that line. So now we can follow this line to find our angle. So what do you think that angle is? Yeah, that works. Mm-hmm. We did that one on the board. Well, you didn't circle an answer.
Well, but this is right so far, right?
Yeah. But those aren't the angle values. This just goes the largest angle. This is going to the smallest angle. Mhm. Yeah, because they have to add up to equal 180.
This is the longest and this is the simplest. Yeah, it goes diagonal, so it's W, Y. X, Y, and W, Y.
Y, W, C.
Bro, no, it's this one. Yeah. No, because YW is the shortest. Yeah, YW. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. My bad.
All right, take like 15 more seconds. Onion boy? Is that what you just called me? All right, Jordan, what did you get for 6? E, okay. Madison, what did you get for 7? Did we get E and D? Okay, I don't know. All right, do we have questions about those? Okay, now that we know like the largest side goes the largest angle, maybe that can help you on the measuring ones too. Because if you find the smallest side, then you can instantly figure out, okay, this one has to be the shortest angle. Okay, does that make sense? All right, let's go to 9. What kind of triangle is 9? It's an isosceles, okay? All right, listen. What does an isosceles triangle mean? 2 sides are the same and 2 angles, okay? We need to find angle TUS. Okay? All right. All right, please, let's stop the extra chit-chat, okay? And let's listen. All right? We are given just one angle right here, okay? And this is angle 64, and we need to find angle TUS. Okay, I'm just going to mark that as X. Okay? Now, what we just learned with those last 4 problems, we're going to kind of apply here. So since an isosceles triangle has 2 congruent sides and 2 congruent angles, okay, we can identify which 2 angles are congruent, which 2 sides are congruent, okay? Right here, it tells us, okay, these 2 sides are congruent, okay, because it has that congruent mark. In order to find those congruent angles, all right, we just go directly opposite, or we go to that diagonal. So that means this one's going to be congruent to this one. Okay? So those 2 angles are going to be congruent. So this angle of S and this angle of U. Now, if T is 64, how do I find the value of those 2 angles? There you go. 180 minus 64. Who can tell me what that is? And then we're going to divide that by 2 because it's 2 congruent angles. So what's 116 divided by 2? All right, and there you go. All right, look at 10. We have to find P and O. Okay? This angle is 49. All right, what other angle is congruent to angle P? Yeah. Angle N. Okay, so what is the angle of P and O? No. 49. You don't have to do any solving there. You go directly opposite from those congruent sides. So if this one's already 49, this one's also 49. Okay? Go ahead, go to that next page and solve those next three. All right, 14 or 13, 14, 15, 16, you're going to have to draw that triangle. All right, and it tells you which angles or which sides are congruent. Yeah. You don't have to find O. What does it tell you to find? Yeah, angle P and O. Yeah, that's all you have to find. Sorry? Find what angle it tells you to find. You just gonna skip this one? No, you're not. Let's look at it. Which two angles? Erase that. Which two angles are congruent? Okay, so go directly opposite. So that means those two sides are congruent. There you go. Boom, it's that easy. Did you hear what I said? Or did you just write her answer?
No, I heard.
Okay.
So I know that I can't assume they're congruent because it's all the dash marks, but I know that isn't it like
That's not right, I know.
I just measure this? I don't know.
No. Well, do you know what two angles are congruent?
I mean, well, it just doesn't have,
Yeah, so how can you find out what two sides are congruent?
well, it doesn't have the dash marks, so you can't assume. Because it doesn't have these, you can't just assume, right?
It's 11.
Yeah, but like, it doesn't have the dash marks.
Well, you just, if these two angles are congruent, then you go directly opposite,
Like, how do you know?
and that means,
How do you know that? Like, it doesn't.
because it has the mark. These marks are telling us it's congruent. The sides have those. Angles have these. You just draw it.
And then, like, does that mean that goes?
VW is congruent to WX. Yep. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You just go directly opposite.
Yeah, I just didn't know they were congruent or not.
Yeah, okay.
I'm confused. How is finding all in the measurement for all is?
You have to find this angle.
Okay. And then what do we do once we find it?
Go to the next one. Well, what two angles are congruent? No. Erase this. Because it gives you, this angle mark is telling us that this angle is congruent to this angle. Yeah. Okay, so if those two angles are congruent, then you go directly opposite to find your two congruent sides. So what two sides are going to be congruent? Yeah. So what's the value of FG? So erase this arrow and erase that 11. And erase your 11 and 16 here. Okay, so if these two angles are congruent, go directly opposite. See how this is 11? So if you go directly opposite here, then those two sides are congruent. So what's your value of FG? There you go. Okay, because when you have the two congruent sides, you go directly opposite to find two congruent angles. This is just like that, opposite. So you can find those congruent sides. Sorry, I looked at this and I was like 180, but it's just your degree sign. All right, I'm going to give you 1 more minute to finish. We'll just talk about those answers. Yeah. Say that again.
You don't know what it is.
I know.
Yes. Yeah, they'll be congruent.
No, it's the 82 of
Okay, just 1 second. We'll go over it together. I think you're thinking too hard. All right, let's go ahead and talk about these. Okay. When we look at number 11, okay, we need to find angle RST. So that's going to be this angle right here, okay? Now, first thing that I need to identify is we have two congruent sides, so how can I find my two congruent angles? Yeah. You just go directly opposite from your two congruent angles, or two congruent sides, and those are your two congruent angles. So angle R is also 41. Okay? So let's, now in order to find that last missing angle, we just need to add them and subtract them from 180. So what's 41 plus 41? 180 minus 82 is 98. Okay? So that is our missing angle of RST. Okay? Let's go to number 12. 12 is talking about sides rather than angles. Okay? Number 12. What this mark right here is, this is telling us that these two angles are congruent. All right? That's what it's telling us. So, if those two angles are congruent, we can figure out our two congruent sides by doing what? Yeah, going directly opposite. So if I just put my arrow here and my arrow here, okay, if this side is 11 already, what's this side? 11. Okay? Now 13, 14, 15, 16, you just have to draw out your triangles. So it says in triangle VWX, so just go ahead and draw a triangle, VWX. Then it says oh my gosh, I can't read. WX is congruent to VW. So that means WX is congruent to VW. So I'm going to mark those two sides that they're congruent. Then it tells us angle V is 55 degrees. So I'm going to mark that angle right here. All right, we need to find angle W, so this angle. Now, I have my two congruent sides, so I need to identify my two congruent angles. All right, so which two angles are congruent? V and X, okay, because I go directly opposite. So X is also 55, so how do I find W? Add them together, so what's 55 plus 55? And subtract that from 180. And there's my missing angle. Okay? All right, let's look at 14, okay, because it has sides. Again, always draw out the triangles because that's going to help you and that's showing your work. All right, this says NOP, angle O is congruent to angle N. All right, NO is 8, PN is 12. Okay? Now, how do I find out which two sides are congruent? I go directly opposite from those two congruent angles. So if NP is 12, what's OP? 12. Okay, does that help? All right, do we have any questions? Who can tell me what they got for 15? Yeah. Do we all get 57? Okay, I think you should get 66. Those two angles are the same.
Sorry, I have 114 divided by 2.
That's, where'd you go?
Right?
That's number 16.
Number 16? Hold on, I'm confused now.
I am too. All right, who can tell me what they got for 16? What do you get, Sophie?
Only 57.
All right, did we get 18? Okay, good. All right, I think that's what you should have gotten both of these. All right. Now, okay, there is a delta math. All right, I know we only have a little bit of time left of class.